I saw you working in the mud again today. I'm glad I didn't marry into a farm family. I never want to dress that like a poor person.
Did you go out of your way to line me to say this?
Because it's fun. I just saw you on my way home from her by accident.
By accident. You've been passing by my house a lot lately, haven't you? Why do you take the long way around to pass by my house?
Did you know that? Because it's funny to see you working in your poor clothes.
I don't think there's anything funny about it.
It's interesting just to watch people from another world.
Why do you make such a fool of farmers? Do you have something against farmers?
I don't. But I just don't like poor people. Because they're often despicable. And most criminals are poor, right? Nothing good comes from being involved with people like that.
As I've told you many times, we aren't poor. And I have a real job other than being a farmer.
You mean poor enough to have to work, right? I'm sorry.
You're working too, aren't you?
I'm an elite receptionist working at a bank exclusively for the rich. Not like you. I'm living in another level.
A bank for the rich only. Where in the world does such a bank exist? I know there are some banks that offer services to the wealthy.
My husband is an elite sales rep for a major trading company. And I'm a receptionist at a major bank. So we're winners in life. Unlike you, we live in a high-rise condo.
Did you say everything you wanted to say?
No, there's more. I have so much to brag about.
Sorry, but I don't have time to listen to all that. If you don't have anything important to say, I'll leave you now.
Hey, I wanted to brag more.
A few days later.
Hey, why did you, a poor person, come to my bank? This is a bank for the rich only.
Of course, it's because I'm being used.
Huh. There's no way you can use my bank.
If you think it's a lie, why don't you check it out? I'm sure you looked into it. You would find out soon what I do and why I use the bank you work for.
Only bigwigs could see that kind of thing, so I don't know. Well, I don't need to look it up.
I thought you knew about me. No. You wouldn't have had an attitude like that if you knew about me.
What have you been saying all along? Anyway, my bank doesn't want poor people. Next time you come in, I'll turn you away.
If you'll do that, you'll end up getting kicked out of the bank.
Why am I being kicked out? Wouldn't I rather get rid of the poor and be thanked by everyone? Maybe. I'll even get a raise.
It'll never happen. If you don't want to get hurt, I don't think you should do anything that would bother me. I'll just give you some advice.
Don't you poor people talk big? Poor farmers like you should be quiet and make friends with the insects in the soil. Even today, the moment you came to the bank, the air was impure and it's the worst.
I changed my clothes and took a shower before going to the bank.
Then maybe it's the smell of poverty coming from inside your body.
I can't talk about it anymore.
That's my line. Anyway, don't ever come back to my bank again. If you come, I'll force you to turn away.
A few days later. I didn't think you'd actually do it, Shay. Do you realize what a terrible thing you've done?
What are you talking about? Maybe it's your fault for coming to a rich-only bank even though you're poor.
You really don't know anything, do you? I've lost my patience with you today.
Scary. Poor people are so nasty because they're so quick to raise their hands.
Rather, you're the one who raised your hand. You pushed me so hard and it hurt.
Angry at being turned away? It's your fault, you dirty, smelly poor person. This is a branch for the rich only. Burdens of society aren't allowed in.
Then I'll cancel it for my 10,000 employees.
Huh. Have you lost your mind?
You're the one who's crazy, aren't you? If you say you're sorry and you will never do anything like this again, I'll give you some slack this time. So, what do you think?
What? Are you threatening me? Who would be sorry to you? Rather, I want you to apologize for coming to my bank, which was out of place for you. Don't ever show your face at the bank again.
Are you sure about that?
No, no. Rather, I'm the one telling you not to come. If you come here again, you'll be in more pain than you were in today, okay?
I see. I don't know what's going to happen to you anymore.
Yeah. You poor farmers just work on the farm quietly. I'm busy at work. Gotta be back.
The next day,
I got the day off today in a while. I'm sure my boss gave me the day off as a reward for all the hard work I've been doing.
you're very positive, aren't you? Do you have any idea what kind of situation you're in?
What are you saying? Haven't you saying a lot of strange things since yesterday?
I'm sure your boss is trying to tell you when he comes to a decision.
Well, what the heck was that all about? I'm so excited because I haven't had a day off in a while.
I'm sure you'll go through hell soon. You should look for a new job before it's too late.
Huh. I'm not leaving the bank. I'm beautiful and classy, so it's the perfect job for me, right?
I do think you have a beautiful face, but your inside is dirtier than muddy water, or maybe even sewage.
How rude. Can someone who gets along with muddy waters every day not talk down to me?
Which one of us is talking down without knowing what's happening?
I feel your poverty when I line you.
You contacted me first, didn't you? I don't think I ever contacted you.
You may be right. Well, but I hate you.
That's coincidence. I don't like you either. I'm going to put you in a tight spot, so be prepared.
Why don't you try it, if you can? I don't think there's anything for the poor to do even if you try.
Well, I'm going to get busy from now on, so excuse me. A few days later,
Hey, when I went to work today, he told me I don't have to come anymore. I asked him why, and he told me that you have something to do with it. What does that mean? Explain it to me.
I told you. You ignored my advice.
My boss says the bank is on the verge of collapse because of you. But who are you?
You haven't heard any details from your boss, haven't you?
No, I was going to ask him, but he said he didn't want to talk to me anymore and kicked me out.
Actually, I'm the president of the company.
President? Don't tell me lies.
I'm not lying.
Then, what's the name of the company are you the president of?
It's a group of company called A Holdings.
Wait, A Holdings is a very large company, right?
You knew it.
I don't know much about the company, but there are quite a few employees, right?
Yes, there are 10,000 of them easily.
That much?
Because of you, I almost had 10,000 contracts cancelled.
10,000 contracts?
As a matter of fact, our company's payroll is deposited in your bank.
Is that right?
You work for them, but you didn't even know who your clients were.
That's because I'm a receptionist.
Even if you're a receptionist, don't you at least remember who your clients are? Well, it seems you've already been fired, so I guess it doesn't matter.
That's why my boss was so upset.
You're lucky he only got mad at you. If the contract had really been cancelled and the company had lost money, you could have been sued for damages in a worst case scenario, you know? Not in the millions, but in the hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions?
That's 10,000 people, so damages would be that much, right?
But it didn't get cancelled, did it?
The upper management, including the president, apologized so desperately. And changing the payroll accounts for 10,000 employees was very hard for me. And moreover, your bank has been very nice to me, so I didn't cancel the contract.
So, why did I get fired?
I told them I don't want to do business with a bank that has an employee who is so selective about her customers like you are. Then, the president promised me to fire you immediately.
What? Are you saying that you got me fired?
Don't talk to me like that, will you? You brought this on yourself, didn't you?
I just looked up A Holdings before, and you really are the president, aren't you?
Yes, I became president about 2 years ago.
But isn't it very hard to be the president and help the farmer at the same time?
I don't have a lot of free time, but with the help of my employees, I'm getting by. And my husband supports me as my secretary and employee.
What? I thought your husband was a farmer. I often see him working.
He helps out on the farm, as do I. But he also works for my company.
But you're at your in-law's house a lot, aren't you? I see your husband picking up your kid from kindergarten on weekdays these days.
He works mostly from home.
That's why.
Don't call us poor from now on.
Of course not. I am really sorry. But if you're such a big wig, you should have told me from the beginning.
I don't think it was something I should say, so I didn't say it. Besides, I thought even you knew about your clients.
I don't know at all.
By the way, how did someone like you get a job at that bank? I can't help wondering.
What do you mean, people like me?
I bet you've been rude to other customers besides me, haven't you? I'm sure they fired you for your past attitudes as well.
How did you know?
I knew it. The bank hired you through your relatives' connections or something?
That's right. My dad is a good friend with the bigwig at the bank, so I asked him if he could hire me as a receptionist somehow. My dad found out that I caused troubles and told me that he was going to cut me off. He told me never to go back to his house no matter what.
I agree with him. You turned evil for good.
I love that job.
You can't change the outcome, so you'll just have to find a new job without trying to do something.
Hey, would you ask my boss if he would let me work for him again?
What? If I do that, my company will stop doing business with your bank.
Don't say that. I don't seem to find a better place to work than that bank.
There's nothing I can do about it, even if you say anything to me. If you want to work, you have to find a job yourself. It might be hard to get a job since you're fired.
Oh no.
Well, I have to go back to work, so excuse me. A few hours later.
Hey, does your company do business with my husband's company?
Yeah. Perhaps your husband told you?
Yes. He was upset with me that I was so rude to the president of his business partner, and he took our kid and left.
I'm glad your husband is a man who can understand, unlike you.
I knew you said something to my husband.
Yes, I did. Actually, your husband and I had just worked together a while ago.
Really? I haven't heard anything from him.
I think he didn't tell you because he didn't think it was a big deal.
What should I do? He says he's going to separate for a while. It's not going to be a divorce or anything, is it?
I wouldn't know even if you asked me. It's up to you guys to decide if you want a divorce or not.
I'm not asking you to convince my boss, so can you tell my husband to come home? You work together, so you must be close, right?
It's true that my husband and I get along with your husband, but I'm not going to get in the middle of your problems. I don't want to get into trouble.
Troubles? Your friend is in trouble and could use a little help.
I don't think you can ask me for help. Who was rude in the first place? You called me poor and forced me out of the bank. Are you really sorry?
I am. I feel really bad for what I did to you. If you want me getting down on my knees, of course I'll do.
I don't need you to do that. It's a waste of time and I don't have time for it.
You don't have to say that much.
Well, I'm going to go work outside now, so excuse me.
Please wait.
Is there something else you haven't told me yet?
I'd like to talk to you. Or rather, I'd like to ask you something.
What? My mother-in-law called me, so can you ask me quickly?
Okay, well, is this known to other moms and neighbors? I feel like everyone has suddenly stopped responding to my messages, and my neighbors are avoiding me.
I have a few husbands of kindergarten moms who work at my company, so it must have spread through their husbands?
Wait. If your friend's husband works for you, does that mean everyone knew you're the president of the company?
I'm not sure if everyone knew, but almost all moms knew, I guess.
Why didn't you tell me?
They thought it's not worth telling, and they thought you knew.
What do they say about me? They aren't saying they're going to stop seeing me, right?
They're all on my side and they don't want to do anything with you. Of course, they don't want to be your friend.
What? By the way, are you with everyone?
I'm not. I'm talking on the group line.
Hold on. I haven't got any notification from you. What does that mean?
Well, it's a group without you.
What? A group without me? Could it be that this incident led you guys to make a group without me?
It's been around for a while.
Huh?
Let me be clear. I don't think everyone thought well of you.
Why? What did I do to them?
You judge based on their jobs and education and look down on them, don't you? If you did that all the time, everyone would get tired of it. And you even speak ill of their families, right? If you say bad things about them, they might let it go. But about their families, no one would feel good about it.
Even so, you guys don't need to leave me out of the group. You guys made a group without me and said bad things about me. That's terrible.
We aren't saying bad things about you. When we talked to you, you made us uncomfortable. That's why. We didn't include you in the group.
Can't you beat around the bush? I'd be hurt if you said that much.
You've hurt so many people, haven't you? In the end, you tried to get the company in trouble, so I think what you've done is much worse.
I'm sorry about that. I won't do it again.
Please. Well, I don't want to get involved with you anymore.
I guess you won't be my friend again.
I never considered you a friend to begin with.
What?
You didn't think I'm your friend either, right? You only made fun of me every time.
I just misunderstood you at the time.
Well, that's enough. Then I'll stay away from you from now on.
Alright. I'm sorry for what I've done to you.
Later. After this line, I'm no longer involved with Shay. She was abandoned by her other friends and left alone. She's now working hard to start a new part-time job and change her mind so that her husband won't abandon her. I, on the other hand, am still working as a president of the company and enjoying farming. I still have a long way to go, both as a farmer's wife and as a president. But I want to continue to devote myself to my work.
Hey, Emily, you're doing more than I expected. I thought you were square, so I was surprised.
What? What are you talking about?
You're playing dumb. I saw you walking with a guy yesterday in the hotel area in front of the station. You can't make excuses because you're walking with your head high.
In the hotel area?
There's no point in playing dumb. I can't believe you had an affair. I thought you're doing well with your husband, but you weren't, I guess. He didn't give you much satisfaction? Or was it the money?
Hold on, please. What are you talking about? I never went to the hotel area, nor did I go out alone with a guy.
So, what did I see? I'm sure I saw you with an old guy. He looked like a middle-aged wealthy guy.
Oh, he was...
You can't make excuses. I have proof. You see, I have the pictures right here. I've just sent you.
This one?
See, I told you. This is the proof. So, don't you have something to pay me?
What? Something to pay you?
Of course. If people started talking about it, you'd be in trouble, right? I could have spread the pictures.
Spread the pictures. Please don't do anything to spread misunderstandings.
How can you say it's misunderstandings? Well, I've never liked you. You always look down on me because my husband works for your husband's company. You're so cocky because your husband is in a better position and pays better. I can't help it.
I didn't mean to.
But that's all over today. If the affair gets out, you'll be in trouble, right? If you don't want to make a big deal out of it, pay me $3 million.
What? $3 million? No way, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money? Your husband got paid a lot, so it's not much, right? You always wear nice clothes and walk around with a name brand purse and show off your wealth. That's why you ended up like that.
Is that what you thought? I thought you're my close friend, but I was wrong. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, so now you're pretending to be a drama queen. You can't play the innocent while you're having an affair. The way you look in this picture has to be you. You see, if everyone finds out this picture, you won't be able to live around here, right?
But this is Miss. I don't want you to make a big deal out of it, but I can't pay you $3 million.
Oh, okay. If that's your decision, it's fine with me. I don't care what happens to you.
A few days later.
Hey, Michelle, why did you do that?
Huh, what's the matter with you? You're in such a rush.
What's the matter? An email sent to the entire company stating that I'm having an affair. The sender was your husband's computer. Didn't you send this from your husband's company computer without permission?
If so, what is it?
I asked you not to spread misunderstandings.
Even if you ask me, I told you that the hush money was $3 million, right? But you didn't pay me. You asked me to keep quiet without paying a little hush money. You're asking too much. It's your fault for not paying what you owe, isn't it?
For that reason, it's hard to deal with the aftermath.
Ha! This is the end of you. Serves you right. You brought it on yourself, so what can you do?
It's childish. What's in it for you by doing this, Michelle?
What's in it for me? There's a benefit. I let my snubby younger friend who used her husband's earnings to show off her riches understand. She knows what will happen to her when she acts like a celebrity.
That's too messed up. I don't know if you have stress or what, but that's like taking it out on me. Why should I get involved in something like that?
You had an affair and didn't even pay the hush money, so don't talk down to me. If you still don't want to pay me at this point, it'll even be worse. Or pay me $5 million. Then I'll forgive you.
I can't pay. Not even a penny will be paid to you. And please don't do this anymore.
A woman who had an affair is greedy and needy. Do you pay me or not? If you don't, it'll be worse, that's all. If you get it, pay me $5 million by the day after tomorrow.
3 days later.
You've got such nerve. I gave you 2 chances, and you ignored them all. I told you that if you didn't pay, there would be consequences. I spread the proof of your infidelity. Well, I'm sorry.
2 months later.
You did it, Michelle. It's a hell of a thing.
Well, you're in trouble, and you want to say sorry now? It's your fault because you didn't pay me. You should have listened to me without opposing me.
No. Michelle, you're in big trouble.
How?
You tried to send the pictures in an email addressed to the entire company like before, right?
Yeah. Is there anything wrong?
It seems that the email was sent to all of our clients, not to us or to your company.
What? Are you kidding me?
No kidding. You know what happens if you send an email like that to your business partners, don't you? Thanks to that, my husband was also trying hard to respond to the complaint today. He said he couldn't do his job because he kept apologizing over the phone all day. I think someone has to take responsibility for this situation since it affected their work.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that, but it's nothing to do with me. I'm rather glad to hear that. See, like I said, it's a terrible thing, ain't it?
No, I think you're involved with this trouble. Think about it. The sender was your husband's address, so of course, there's tons of complaints directed at your husband. Even my husband's company got so many complaints, so I guess your husband's place was worse than that. I'm sure they were busy apologizing all day.
Oh no, but if it's just a complaint, wouldn't an apology be enough? If he apologizes sincerely to them, everything would be okay, I think.
I believe my husband and of course your husband have made sincere apologies. But things are more serious than you think, Michelle. An apology won't be enough for this problem. We're in a situation where someone has to take responsibility.
You said someone. Who's to say who's responsible? I can't take it. I'm not working there. Rather, you should take the blame.
There's no reason at all why I have to take responsibility. Of course, there's no way that you can be held responsible. In the first place, you're sending the email at your husband's address. It's supposed to be your husband who sent it, not you.
Oh no.
That means your husband may have to take responsibility.
How could you do that? It's all your fault. You even bothered my husband. How could you? An apology ain't enough.
How can it be my fault? You did everything on your own.
What the hell are you talking about? This is what happens when you have an affair.
No, I'm not having an affair. I've been trying to explain to you for a while. That's my dad.
What?
He just happened to be over there that day, so we went out since we hadn't had dinner in a while. I also saw the picture, and that was my dad. My husband, of course, knows my dad, so nothing happened between us. Well, your email has made me to clear up some misunderstandings.
But I'm sure that you're at the hotel area.
Well, you could certainly turn down an alley in that area and go to the hotel area. But the place in the picture is the entrance to an alley, and that's a street lined with restaurants. I've never been in the hotel area.
Oh no, you tricked me. You're trying to trick me without telling the truth.
What? What are you talking about?
You look down on me because my husband works for your husband and you show off your wealth. That was bad enough, but you tried to trick me even more.
Huh. Well, Michelle, including myself, most people don't have the time or energy to spend on a mere friend. You keep saying I'm rich, but it's natural that I have more money than others because I worked harder than others.
Gosh.
At least I'm not like you, who wastes time complaining about others all the time. Even now I have to waste my time because of you. Not just me, but many others waste their times.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Screw you, cheater.
Cheater?
It's all your fault. You tricked me. I'm gonna sue for sure.
I'm the victim, but what are you going to sue? You don't get it no matter what I say? I'm done. I'll not get involved with you any further. Goodbye.
Hey, pay up, traitor. Cheater. Coward.
Later,
In the end, Michelle's husband took responsibility for the incident and voluntarily resigned. I think the reason he wasn't disciplined was because it wasn't something that was his own fault. By the way, they also found out why Michelle was so obsessed with money after that. Apparently, she's having an affair and wanted money to play with a partner. Because she's having an affair, she made the mistake of thinking that others were having an affair. She ended up divorcing her husband after he found out about the affair. Meanwhile, my husband and I overcame all the troubles and our normal life was back. We have our second child and are living happily ever after.